Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. We begin a brand new day. Well, the SGX Nifty is indicating a start in the green, but we know better. We've had a rough last couple of days. This market has been a sell-on rally market. So today, perhaps, we could see a pullback rally, but important bit is whether it gets sold into or not. A lot of block deals coming through as well in the last 48 hours, 24 hours rather. Vivek is here to give us the latest on all of that. Vivek, over to you.
Well, good morning. Yesterday in the trading session, we saw multiple block deals and quite a large chunk of equity in each of the companies actually exchanging hands. We reported yesterday on Sona, BLW, and we had intimated that Blackstone would be the likely seller of almost 20.5% stake that was sold in the company. Along expected lines, they have sold almost 25%. However, when you're looking at the list of names that have bought into this particular block deal, it's a list of marquee names. So it's actually seeing demand from FI, you saw sovereign wealth funds, domestic mutual funds, as well as insurance companies actually coming in this particular deal. In fact, CLSA has written a note saying that the recent underperformance was, from the stock was on the back of the fact that on the anticipated supply from Blackstone. However, they believe that the prospects continue to look quite good and the order book is extremely healthy. We're also talking about Mahindra CIE. Yesterday, M&M sold almost 6.1% stake in the company, like we had reported. They continue to now hold a 3.1% stake, and it remains to be seen, what exactly they do with this particular stake and as and when they decide to exit it. Lastly, Mahindra Logistics, a large fund, holding almost 2.23% stake at the end of the December quarter, exited 1.7% stake yesterday. It's the first Sentier sustainability fund. Remains to be seen, with the small stake, what exactly they do with it.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much, Vivek. So you're our man for all the block deal data. Thank you for the details over there. Let's bring in Rima. She's looking out for Bharti and for GAIL. Rima, morning. I think anyone who was listening to us on Who Moved the Market would know that you were talking about this. Bharti will go forward with price hikes in all the remaining circles. That's what's happened?
Yes, indeed. So Bharti Airtel has increased the minimum entry-level tariff plan in 3 more circles. They are Gujarat, Kolkata and Madhya Pradesh. With this, Bharti has now increased the entry-level tariffs from 99 to 155 rupees across India, across all the 22 circles. So now it's a pan-India tariff hike of almost 56%. But remember, it only impacts a very small percentage, only the voice customers of Bharti Airtel, which is why, while it's a step in the right direction, it's not very material to the company's financials. So according to Morgan Stanley, with this, the India mobile revenues go up by only 1.3 to 1.5%. Many other brokerages believe, given the churn that typically takes place, the impact is not going to be more than 2%, say 1 to 2% at best. So that's the expectation. Competition so far, competition here is Vodafone Idea, has not followed through or followed Bharti with a price hike. GAIL is the other one that we are tracking today because they have declared an interim dividend of 4 rupees per share, and the record date for this is the 21st of March. Back to you.
Yeah. All right, Rima, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's go across to Ekta now. She's tracking Lupin and Tube investments. Ekta, what do you have?
Thanks for that. Well, I'll start with Lupin, where the US FDA has completed an inspection of its Bio-Research Center in Pune with no observations. And this is the 7th consecutive on-site inspection which has been cleared. So that is a positive for Lupin. Remember, their Vizag facility was cleared with 0 observations just 2 days ago, so that's definitely positive news as a whole for Lupin. And Tube Investments, they're foraying into contract development and manufacturing, which is basically the CDMO segment. They've incorporated a subsidiary for the same and will be investing 285 crores. So interesting times. Let's see. I expect both these stocks to probably be in the green.
All right, Ekta, thanks very much for that. Well, oil prices in focus, which is something we've not discussed. We've talked about equities, rates, etc. Manisha is here to give us a lowdown on that. Manisha, hi, morning.
Well, yes, we have seen the crude oil prices extend decline down by 2% overnight, and with that, we are down by 4% in this week and down 6% on the month as well. And the crude oil prices now are trading at a 3-month lows. The weakness in US dollar and the China demand recovery have been the supportive factors in last many sessions, but the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank has raised concerns about a broader financial and economic crisis, and that has triggered a sell-off in risk assets. Also, if you look at the EIA report that came in last evening, says that the U.S. shale output will increase in April to the highest since December 2019. So supply is clearly not a concern, and markets still are looking at uneven, even fragile recoveries from China. That continues to weigh onto the market. So we are trading below $80 for the Brent prices. We've seen 86 of a high in the month of March itself. So a very sharp cut coming in, with the markets now suggesting that another couple of dollars of a decline in this week now is not proved out.
Okay, Manisha, thanks a lot for that. Well, tying in with all of this is inflation, right? It remains quite stubborn. In February, it came in at 6.44%, above the RBI's comfort zone. Lata's here to give us the fine print. Lata, over to you.
Yes, it's above the RBI's comfort zone, but more importantly, above our forecast as well. The poll said 6.29%. And what is leading it is, again, something of mass consumption. Cereals up 17% versus 16% last month, and milk up 9.7%. It was 8.7% last month. So it's really a widespread and biting inflation. The core inflation, which RBI tracks, is also at 6.1%. RBI had said in the previous policy it wants to see it persistently lower. Now, there are some people who are arguing that the manner of calculation of food inflation is a problem. Be that as it may, the MPC has a given mandate of keeping inflation below 6%, and that it's come at 6.44 in Feb, 6.52 in Jan, means it has to come, at 5 in March to for the average for the quarter to come down below 6, which is not happening. So they're going to miss their mandate again. Part of the street is therefore betting that an April rate hike is a given, because this is becoming a structural inflation. But the other part argues that look at the global cues. We will get the Tuesday evening, our time, US CPI numbers, FOMC decision on 22nd March, and the manner in which the global markets have been disrupted by the banking instability will anyway bring growth lower, and therefore monetary policy should be forward-looking and there should not be a rate hike. So April policy becomes extremely interesting.
All right, Lata, thanks very much for that. That's India inflation coming into sharp focus, as well as we've been discussing. US inflation, of course, comes into focus later tonight. We'll take a very quick break here. Up next, Aditya Suresh of Macquarie will join us now for some fundamental stock analysis. Later, we will connect with Rajiv Samant of Sula Vineyards to discuss their business outlook, as well as the recent resignation of their CFO. Stay tuned for those conversations coming up next.